Salam sejahtera, ini agenda AWANI bersama saya Ibrahim Sani. Dalam usaha kita untuk menilai pembangunan dan juga pembentukan industri sektor gas dan minyak Malaysia, kita sering tertanya-tanya bagaimana Petronas ingin membantu komuniti dan masyarakat dalam memastikan mereka terus berdaya saing dan maju tatkala pandemik masih lagi menular di negara kita. Dengan itu, saya berbesar hati untuk menjemput Datuk Arif Mahmood, Naib Presiden Eksekutif dan juga Pegawai, Ketua Pegawai Eksekutif Hiliran Petronas untuk membincangkan tentang inisiatif kelestarian mereka yang dinamakan sebagai SEED.Lab, sebuah usaha bersama di antara Petronas dan juga Tata Consultancy Services. Datuk, apa khabar Datuk?
Alhamdulillah, khabar?
Khabar baik, Alhamdulillah. Ini pun kita masih lagi slowly easing into the studio. Seperti mana kalau kita lihat sebelum ni, episod-episod sebelum ni kita ada work from home dan juga di studio. Jadi sekarang ni kita slowly masuk studio kembali. Dan itulah dia juga kisah ramai rakyat Malaysia di mana mereka ingin terus continue dia punya perniagaan dan memastikan mereka juga dapat remain produktif apabila pandemik ini terus berterusan dan berlarutan. Jadi itu situasi yang ada sekarang ni. Tapi usaha kelestarian yang sedang dilaksanakan oleh Hiliran Petronas, banyak sangat kita boleh bincang. Jadi kita nak sembang tentang SEED.Lab. Mungkin Datuk boleh ulahkan sedikit tentang inisiatif SEED.Lab Petronas.
Okey. Terima kasih banyak untuk this opportunity ni. Petronas, I think, especially kalau kat Malaysia lah, ramai orang kenal Petronas. Ramai kenal kita, kadang-kadang stesen minyak, scholarship, Twin Towers, Formula One. So sebenarnya kita ni, we have a purpose. Kita punya purpose ni. Kita punya purpose is a progressive energy and solution partner enriching life for a sustainable future. So, bila kita tengok kita punya purpose kita, why we exist, kita clearly, first thing, kita kena create value lah. I mean, as a company, from the investment, kita punya shareholder, we want to see us create value. Since kita establish 1974, we have created a lot of value. Kita dah bagi balik banyak dividend, tax, royalty. Tapi kadang-kadang tempat yang maybe orang tak familiar sangat is apa lagi yang Petronas buat, in apa area of focus yang kita do outside the value creation directly from making money ni lah. So 3 focus area yang kita emphasis lah, yang kita fokus lah. Satu is education. Kedua is community well-being and development. Yang ketiga is environment. So in 2019, we were saying, selain daripada apa yang Petronas buat sekarang, scholarship, guru, sekolah, apa lagi yang kita boleh buat so that we can come up with a program that can not only enrich or not make people to be belajar education, learn new skill, but also create a sustainable business. But the most important thing is kita solve social problem. Apakah masalah sosial yang kita hadapi sekarang ni? Tak semestinya Petronas, but let's say Malaysia. So we were saying maybe unemployment. That is an area kita nak fokus lah.
Jadi unemployment sekarang memang meningkat. Seperti mana kita tahu, youth unemployment in particular has been rising, particularly during the pandemic since the MCO started early last year. And the numbers really are not looking good. We're looking at 5.something% of unemployment, and then tu belum kita ambil kira underemployment. Sebab underemployment mungkin is not that well captured by the Department of Statistics. Of course, there's a lot of things in between, the grey areas, unemployment, underemployment dan sebagainya, partial employment, gig employment. Jadi isu-isu sekarang ni memang akan ada knock-on effect to other impact towards society. Jadi bagaimana inisiatif SEED.Lab ni dapat membantu isu-isu masalah sosial seperti mana yang Datuk sebutkan tadi?
Okay, so when we were thinking, kita fikir macam mana nak buat ni, right? How do we harness the youth, first of all, the youth, to help the youth. How do we actually get the creativity, the energy behind this? So kita cakap dengan ramai partner at that time to try and formulate program ni. So one of the partner that kita bincang is Tata Consulting Services ni. So they actually ada a program in Nashik panggil DISQ, DISQ. Right? This is digital, dipanggil Digital Impact Square, where the society come together, come up with a solution to help the social issue in that area in Nashik. So kita bincang lebih lagi, okay, why don't kita start program tu di Malaysia? So the intent of the program kita dengan TCS ni, because TCS actually is a digital company. So seperti mana yang kita tahu, dalam era ni, a lot of solution can be solved through digital. Jadi kita kata, okay, kita start cohort pertama. Kita go to university, we advertise, and we finally got about 36, which is young, youth category. Either baru graduate atau below 30 or early 30s. So we put them together. And then after we put them together, we say, all right, let's fikirkan idea macam mana kita nak solve one or two areas of social impact, especially on unemployment, youth unemployment. So the team go out and come up with macam-macam idea lah. Ada yang kata kita buat recruitment, assessing talent through online game. Ada kata kita buat marketplace on wedding services. But the most important thing is kita kata, in order to try and be innovative in the solution, we need to go through a proper training lah. Cara macam mana kita nak fikirkan benda ni. So we actually deploy methodology called, like, for example, design thinking. Look at the social issue or the impact we want to create, and then we work backwards and try to come up with ideation on this thing. We also then do things that we call customer validation. Kita pergi and validate, betul ke isu ni, betul ke tidak? Apa dia punya pain point? And then we say go into the solutioning. Betul tak solution kita ni boleh tak deploy and solve problem ni? In the solutioning, this is where we try to deploy, and the mantra for these kids actually is cracking the code. How do we crack the code? Figuring out a different way of solutioning through digital. So, and then the third part is how do we make this into a sustainable business? Whether it's a social enterprise. So, through this partnership, TCS has deployed dia punya specialists to help us in this methodology. Petronas has also deployed our people, staff of Petronas, yang passionate in this space of doing really things that can impact the society. And in that combination, we've actually created SEED.Lab to create this solution, digital solution punya orientation to impact, especially unemployment. But the outcome of this, sama ada kita come up with an idea that do this, even if the idea fails, what we say is either you become rich over time or you will become enriched. You will learn new skill that make you valuable when you want to go and start a new business ataupun you nak cari kerja. So that's the program.
Jadi apakah sasaran SEED.Lab dalam membentuk individuals yang boleh join program ni? Datuk ada sebut tadi 36 belia. Adakah SEED.Lab mempunyai sasaran yang lebih tinggi dan besar, dan bagaimanakah ini dapat mempunyai knock-on effect kepada the rest of society at large? Enrichment is important. Enrich of course is good to have, but at the same time solving unemployment tu penting juga. 800,000 orang currently unemployed, and I know it's so big, and I'm not too sure one program can solve the mega problem, but at the same time whatever works has to be celebrated, and I think this is good. Tapi apakah sasaran yang SEED.Lab mungkin ada sekarang?
Okay. So bila kita start SEED.Lab, just like if you know in terms of ideation and experimentation, it's really an experiment. It was an experimentation to see whether this concept work. So masa time kita deploy this, kita learn a lot of things, what work well, what don't work very well. Right? So among what works well we saw is that in terms of the ideation, kalau kita can refine it better, right? To maybe not confine it to only social issue of unemployment. Kita tengok in terms of broader social issue, how can we make impact? It could be enriching life in different form, so that's one area. So the other thing that we found that we can enhance is also, katalah, in developing solution, kita also need technical expertise. So people would have some technical knowledge and some entrepreneurship. So now, given that kita dah habis kohort 1 ni, we're now going into kohort 2. So with some of this learning, we are now a bit more confident that the kohort 2 ni insyaAllah will be more successful in the kohort 1. So kita punya vision for this is, this SEED.Lab doesn't have to be only within Petronas. It could be SEED.Lab in CIMB, and in the GLCs, in a lot more of the partners. It doesn't have to be confined to Malaysia. Because the concept is, as we train and do and enable these people and empower them, they can do more. And they can not necessarily just do it within the program, they can do it outside the program. So saya pun dah bincang dengan TCS, how can we scale this? We're not doing it very much in kohort 2 ni, tapi dalam kohort 2 ni kita akan cuba dapatkan partner-partner yang lain to create that ecosystem. Right? So the 3 yang kita launch masa SEED.Lab kohort 1 ni, antara dia ialah Food Lab, Soft Next dan Teman. These are the 3 ventures that kita launch. Food Lab is about co-working kitchen space. Soft Next is we've created a marketplace for gig talent. And then for Teman is where we provide care companion mainly for elderly. Macam for example COVID-19 ni, we have a lot of services that people require. So anak dia tak boleh nak bawa parents dia pergi. From Teman to tolong bawakan this their father or their the grandfather to this location. So we have not set the real thing, say berapa unemployment we're gonna resolve. But as we see, we're not going to just now focus in cohort 2 only on unemployment. It's the broader impact, and we will measure success from both direct impact and indirect impact to the society.
Baik. Kita akan berehat sebentar. Kemudian nanti kita akan terus dengan perbincangan kita dengan Datuk Arif Mahmood dari Petronas. Terima kasih kerana terus bersama kami. Bersama kita pada hari ini adalah Datuk Arif Mahmood, Naib Presiden Eksekutif dan juga Ketua Pegawai Eksekutif Hiliran Petronas. Datuk, ada sebut tadi 3 perniagaan dalam kohort 1, SEED.Lab, Food Lab, Soft Next dan juga Teman, dan rupa bentuk syarikat-syarikat ini ataupun usaha ini adalah dalam bentuk perusahaan sosial ataupun social enterprise, di mana ini dapat mendukung hasrat Petronas untuk membentuk inisiatif kelestarian yang lebih mampan. Mungkin Datuk boleh ceritakan sedikit tentang mengapa rupa bentuk efforts ni ataupun inisiatif ni dalam bentuk social enterprise ataupun perusahaan sosial.
Actually, sebelum ni kita pun dah tengok the social enterprises already in Malaysia, and kita dah panggil dia orang to give a pitch to us. What do they do? To be honest, I was very inspired. And ada satu tu dia buat thing Muay Thai. How it develop and help the gelandangan ni to actually then harness this talent and create new muatai punya ni and carry income, and these people can then draw their friends to come. So we are very attracted to that business model because in that sense, you're not just creating money, but giving back money. Right? These three ventures that I talk about, they're not at that stage yet because they're still in the midst of trying to grow the business. But I wanted them to get instilled in their mind also as we assist them to launch. Hopefully one day they can give back to others, to actually nurture others. That is also create a lot more opportunity. I give an example, teman. You know, we have teams that was in there that came in that wasn't really sure of their capability. Nak cakap pun segan-segan, you know, confident. They don't know if they want to start a business. Macam mana nak go about starting a business? Macam mana nak jumpa customer? Macam mana nak buat ni? So with the partnership that we have, and the network that we have, kita connect them. Right? Ajar dia macam mana. Now, ada yang tak pandai cakap, sekarang dah lebih-lebih cakap pun ada. Yang very, very confident. And the ones sometimes that we don't expect to be leading are now leading. We have geologists who's now started the food lab. Kita ada, you know, civil engineers that's now doing this. So instilling confidence through the advantage kita ada as Petronas to our ecosystem, I think is key. This platform is very key. So in order to replicate this, we want it to grow outside SEED.Lab. What they have learned, they deploy to others and get others to then replicate this. At the same time, we replicate it through our own initiative, through our partners. Hopefully, we can attract others to join us in this journey.
Datuk ada sebut tadi kohort 2 akan bermula. Apakah ciri-ciri ataupun faktor yang mungkin diambil kira dalam pembentukan kohort 2 ini?
So as I cakap tadi, daripada kohort 1 yang kita learn ni, kohort 2 ni kita akan cuba mix. Maknanya dia people who may have already the technical expertise, then entrepreneur and graduate. So kita tengok bila kita combine ni, especially bila dia nak solution nanti, I think we can actually get there faster. Kalau tidak, kita kena ajar the computer skill, the coding as we were doing this. So that is one. The other one is kita narrow down topik-topik yang kita akan address. So, yang kita test dulu. So, within the topic, jadi dia come in, kita akan percepatkan dia punya ideation mode. Because kita start pada idea, incubation, scale, the launch and scale. So, sometimes we spend too much on ideation, kita rugi masa because program ni dalam masa setahun. Right? So, kita shorten the ideation part, but we go a lot more on the solution and launch. So, that's what we are doing in terms of enhancement lah.
Datuk, kita nak faham tentang bagaimana program ini dilaksanakan, terutamanya terdapat pelbagai kekangan susulan daripada Perintah Kawalan Pergerakan yang memberikan satu situasi di mana kesulitan, sometimes unexpected challenges terjadi. Adakah inisiatif SEED.Lab akan berjalan lancar seperti mana ia dijalankan sebelum ini ataupun ada terganggu gugat sedikit tentang pelaksanaan inisiatif ini?
Actually kan, bila kita lancarkan the launch this program awal 2020, tak sampai 3 bulan COVID-19 and then lockdown semua tu lah. So kita baru dapat office, baru nak set up office through a simple office setup. That we have to move actually into virtual actually. So sebanyak mungkin, because we don't want them to be in the ni, kita akan combine. Yang mana kalau sempat datang office, kan at that time, not full lockdown, dia akan datang and try to do work in the office. Otherwise, pembelajaran and how they interface is through Teams and Zoom interface dengan. So Alhamdulillah, although it was more difficult, we don't get the full benefit of them together. There were times they were actually able to be together actually during that time. So it was a combination. So sekarang ni untuk cohort 2, again from that learning also, the design untuk cohort 2 is to allow them to also do it remotely, but hopefully as we roll out this vaccine more and more, because this is a one year program, that they're able to come together. Because one of the things that we look at, their learning from each other is important, and that learning from each other typically happen when they are together actually. Tengah minum kopi, tarik tengah sembang, joking, and that network closeness among each other. So I guess we kind of know how it's done in the cohort 1. So that's why we are still launching cohort 2 despite this pandemic lah.
Antara pengkhususan domain SEED.Lab termasuk makanan dan pertanian, keselamatan persendirian dan juga kewangan dan sebagainya. Mengapa domain areas ini dipilih dalam pembentukan social enterprises melalui SEED.Lab?
Okay, bila kita tengok area-area ni, kita nak tengok where, especially dalam Malaysia, that we can have maximum social impact. Satu lagi, this is a small outfit, small initiative. Kita tak boleh go dalam kawasan nak tukar policy, nak tukar, there is area yang kita tak akan go into, because satu is difficult and it take longer time. So kita akan tengok yang mana ada big social impact, yang dalam capacity kita boleh buat within the frame of time kita ada ni, dalam masa setahun. So itu yang kita choose, kita akan narrow down as they come in. Kalau tidak, tak sempat nak siap dalam masa setahun setengah.
Alright, apakah pesanan terakhir yang mungkin Datuk boleh kongsikan dengan masyarakat sekarang tentang inisiatif SEED.Lab ini?
Saya rasa, inisiatif macam ni, ramai ada GLCs, other company is doing, right? And I think we should do more that has bigger impact and sustainable. So kalau kita boleh combine effort, right, whether in this SEED.Lab or kita combine effort in somewhere else, and we can scale, I think that would be wonderful. That we can actually have real impact. Sekarang ni dia masih kecil. To some extent, it's experimentation. Clearly, I want it to be sustainable, program ni, dan berkembang. Macam saya kata tadi lah, dengan partner-partner dalam ekosistem Petronas ni. Because kita sebagai Petronas, ramai rakan-rakan niaga dan that work with us. And also other GLCs. Right? And so, we want to do this, especially during cohort 2, we will be communicating with those people, with those groups, and see whether there is a way to create that ecosystem. So I would really encourage company to take up more of this kind of initiative. Kan? Dan the benefit is bukan just on this impact kita buat, but saya nampak dalam staff kita orang sendiri, right? How they grow. That is the satisfaction that you get from this kind of program.
Fantastic. Terima kasih Datuk. Itu adalah Datuk Arif Mahmood, Naib Presiden Eksekutif dan juga Ketua Pegawai Eksekutif Hiliran Petronas. Jika anda terlepas menepan bahagian dalam temu ramah ini, sila layari astroawani.com. Sekian sahaja, ini agenda Awani. Saya Ibrahim Sani.